Alright everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video what I have for everyone is my full review of the Fiberri case for the iPhone 15 Plus. Let me do some quick housekeeping and then we're going to dive into the full review of this case. So recording the video here today, I am using the primary rear facing camera on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Today's video is being recorded in 1080p at 30 FPS, and I am using external audio to record today's video. The mic we are using today is the Comica eJoy Uni D microphone connected up to my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Also, I am using my professional studio lights here today as well, so please let me know what you guys and gals think about the overall audio quality, the overall video quality, and the overall lighting of the video here today. As always, all of your feedback is always greatly appreciated. Just remember to keep it respectful, please. Also remember, if anything in today's video piques your interest, all the links to where you can pick up any and everything featured in today's video will be linked up down below in the video description, and down below in the video description will contain affiliated buy links, and you can always help support the channel by using those affiliate buy links. I do get a small percentage of commission that I put back into the channel, and that is at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So I consider those affiliate buy links a win-win for everyone, in my opinion. That being said, if you would like to see any more of my extended coverage or recommended accessories for the iPhone 15 Plus, all of my extended coverage and my favorite recommended accessories will be linked up down below in the video description as well. So the video description will truly be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. Alright, housekeeping done. Let's dive into today's full review, and hopefully by the end of this video, you guys and gals know if this case is worth picking up for your device. Let's get into this. Starting off here, let's talk about the overall build quality and design of the case. Now, build quality wise, this case is built out of premium TPU plastics around the inner portion and the sides, with forged carbon fiber on the back, so they say. I have no way to verify that. But in terms of the overall build materials, I do have to say this is very nice and premium materials. You got a nice suede-ish TPU material on the inside, and y'all can see we got some nice company branding there as well, and that same material continues around the sides of the case. Really good stuff. And then again, we got that forged carbon fiber on the back. Okay, but in terms of the overall build quality, I have to say Fiberri has done a top-notch job. Top-notch indeed. Jumping over to the overall design, this is where I have to say Fiberri has again done a top-notch job, with my only issue with the design being that this case is another case that does pick up fingerprints. Now, with the type of design pattern they have, it is very hard to see, but if I tilt the case in just the right light, you can see that it does pick up fingerprints. So this is another case that I do wish had a oleophobic or fingerprint resisting coating on it. But in terms of the overall design, I do have to say, aside from that, it is top notch in my overall opinion, and I really do like this design. And talking about the build quality and design on the whole, I do have to say it is top notch as well. Alright, so great job from those two aspects, Fiberri, great job indeed. Up next now, let's talk about the overall fit and feel of the case on my device. Now, make reference, I do have a nice third-party tempered glass screen protector on the front of my device, and I do have a very nice third-party camera lens protector on the front of my device as well. We're going to come back to that compatibility in a little bit here. But slapping the case on my device, I do have to say it goes on extremely easily. and once I pop it in here, everything fits perfectly. So you can see we have nice precision cutouts for our speakers and our microphones, as well as our charging port on the bottom. We do have a nice cutout with indentated lip to protect the cameras on the back, and it does give you a nice raised lip as well. Look at that, good stuff there. Flipping it over to the front, we do have very nice cutouts for our mute slider, which is very easily accessible, as well as fully protected and covered volume rockers and power button, which maintain their clickiness and nice tactile feedback. So that is very nice as well. And you can see we do have a very nice raised lip around the entirety of the front of the display. So very good stuff there as well. And we do have a nice lanyard cutout, so if you want to add a nice lanyard strap, you can do that as well. So in terms of the fit, I have to say again, Fiberri has done a great job here. Now, talking about the overall feel in hand, this is another area where I feel Fiberri has done a great job, because this case actually feels really good in the hand with that suede-ish plastic material. It does have a nice grip, and as I said before, the buttons still maintain their tactileness and clicky feedback, so that is very nice as well. So overall, the feel in hand, in my opinion, is top notch. And you can see, because of that texture, even holding the phone with a loose grip and shaking, the phone isn't going anywhere. So this case does add much needed grip to an overall very slippery device without it. So great job there, Fiberri, great job indeed. So talking about the fit and feel on the whole, it is top notch in my overall opinion. Up next now, let's talk about another important category, one that I kind of already hinted to. Let's talk about the overall protection that this case provides. Now, as I said, in terms of the protection, you have fully protected power buttons and volume rockers, but you have a nice raised lip around the front of the display. So if I just so happen to drop my device face down, it's gonna be perfectly fine with that nice raised lip. And so too can be said of the back camera area, because it has that nice raised indentated lip. So if I just so happen to drop my device back down, it's gonna be perfectly fine. And another thing about the protection, as I said earlier, it does seem to work very well. The case does seem to work very well with third-party tempered glass screen protectors. It works perfectly fine with all the ones that I tested. And it does seem to work very well with third-party camera lens tempered glass protectors. It has, again, worked well with all the ones that I've tested. So in terms of screen protector compatibility, it is top-notch as well. And in terms of camera lens protector compatibility, it is top-notch as well. And that means on the whole, it provides overall solid top-notch protection. Alright, so you can see in terms of the protection, this is a really solid case. Okay, up next now, let's briefly summarize the positives and the negatives of this case. Then I'm going to talk about the current pricing and overall availability, and share my final thoughts and make an overall recommendation for everyone. So if you watch no other parts of this full review, as long as you watch these last two categories or these next two categories, you should get a really good overall general idea of how I feel about this case right here. And disclaimer, I am not perfect and I never claim to be, so if you guys and gals decide to pick up this case and you experience a positive that I did not mention in this video, or you experience a negative that I did not mention in this video, please leave your feedback down below in the comments, because only through providing our feedback can we get overall improvements on the products and devices that we spend our hard-earned money on. What you're going to see in this video is just my positives and my negatives based on my overall experience and my overall opinion, okay? So, disclaimer done, let's get into it now. Also, remember, I'll have a full list of the positives that I've experienced and a full list of the negatives that I've experienced thrown up in the video. So please feel free to pause the video if you'd like to read up and know more about any particular area. Okay? Okay. So, talking about the positives, and this is basically going to be a rundown of everything that I've talked about in the video so far. So, in terms of the overall build quality and design, as I said, it is top-notch in my overall opinion. Now, talking about the overall fit and feel, again, this is another top-notch aspect of this case, in my opinion. And as I said, the overall protection that this case provides is top-notch because it provides maximum protection. And if you include your favorite third-party tempered glass screen protector and your favorite third-party camera lens protector, your device should be fully protected. Okay, so the protection is top-notch as well. Add to that the fact that you still can maintain full functionality for your device. So you can see this is one of my favorite MagSafe wireless chargers right here, and I can easily drop it on and you can see my device starts charging. So I still maintain full functionality while having my device in this case. So not only do I get maximum protection, but I also maintain full functionality for my device. Really, really good stuff in my opinion. And this works with all of my favorite accessories, whether that be wireless chargers, kickstands, foam stands, you name it, it all works. So I'm very, very happy to see that I maintain full functionality while wearing this case on my device. So that's another top-notch positive as well. And the last positive that I want to mention, and you know, it kind of depends on what you choose. We're going to talk about that choice that you have to make, is the price. Now, this particular case is available for a good price, depending on the style of case that you decide to go with. We're going to talk about the styling and choices as we get to the final part of the video. But depending on the style of case that you go with, this actually is available at a good price. I wouldn't say it's the best, but for the quality of the case, I would say it's actually good. Alright, so that goes over all of the positives that I've experienced in my opinion. Now let's talk about the negatives, or one negative that I've experienced with this case. And that one negative that I've experienced is something that I already mentioned, and that is the fingerprints. This case does pick up fingerprints like nobody's business. Now, it's a little bit harder to see with the style of design that they chose to implement on the back of the case, but you will notice it from time to time when the light hits the case just right. So like I said earlier, I do wish that this particular case had a oleophobic or fingerprint resistant coating to cut down on those fingerprints. But by far, that's the only negative that I've experienced with this case right here. Okay, so that goes over the positives that I've experienced, and that goes over the negatives as well. Now let's get into the final part of this review. Let's talk pricing. Let's talk overall availability. Let me get into sharing my final thoughts and make an overall recommendation. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I do have to let everyone know this was another product that came into the channel free of charge, thanks in large part to the Amazon Vine program. But that in no way, shape, form, or fashion influences my overall opinions of this product. As always, I reserve the right to keep it straight 100 around here. But I do feel as though I need to always disclose that. I always disclose how a product comes in, whether I pay for it with my own money or it comes in through a partnership, a sponsor, or a particular program. You know, that's all part of keeping it straight 100. But that being said, although this product did come into the channel free of charge, I still did do my due diligence, I can't speak today, and scour the internet, my bad everyone, and find the overall current pricing and availability, and we're going to talk about it now. Let me actually pull up the live listing right here. I'm going to pull it up off camera here. So let's jump on Amazon. Let's go to the Fiberri case, and here it is. Now this particular case is available in 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. And this is what I want to talk about. Now, the price does decrease by $14 to $15 depending on if you want to get the case with MagSafe built in or you want to get the case without MagSafe. Now, the case without MagSafe is going to run you $20.50 before taxes. The case with MagSafe, which is the variant you guys and gals see in this video, that's going to run you $34.50 to $35 before taxes. And in my honest opinion, I would much rather spend the extra money and maintain full functionality than save a little bit of money and get the case without the MagSafe built in. But that choice is completely up to you guys and gals. At the end of the day, it's your money. You have to spend it how you want. But for me, in my opinion, I'm okay with dropping the extra $14 or $15 and getting the MagSafe functionality built in. But if you want to save a little bit of money, and that's something you don't use often, I can see why you would choose to get the version of the case without MagSafe. But MagSafe is something I use on a daily basis. That's why I would recommend you spend the extra money and just get that. Okay? Now, with that being said, this particular case, as I said, is available in 4 different colors, and let's run through them right now. So you have black gloss or gloss black, which is this variant right here. Then you have gloss blue. Then you have gold and blue, gloss golden blue. And then you have gloss red. Okay? And regardless of whichever case you decide to go with, again, as I said, it's going to be $34.50 before taxes, all the way up to possibly a little bit over $35. Okay? Your taxes may vary. And then the same thing can be said if you decide to go with the one without MagSafe. That's going to drop the price to $20.50 before taxes, all the way up to $21 and a little bit more after taxes. Okay? It just depends. Okay? But that goes over the current pricing. That goes over the current availability. And in my opinion, and I'll have the B-roll thrown up in post so y'all can see the colors and the pricing for yourself. As I said, I honestly would recommend you to spend the extra money and get the version with MagSafe, because it's much better to have a case that fully protects your device but also maintains full functionality, in my opinion, as I've been saying throughout this video. But that's my overall recommendation, and that, guys and gals, does it for today's full review. As always, if you guys and gals enjoyed the video and you found it helpful, please help your boy out by giving the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. And as I said, please let me know what you guys and gals think of the overall video quality, the overall audio quality, and the overall lighting down below in the comments. As always, all your feedback is greatly appreciated. And this officially does it. This was the last accessory that I wanted to cover for the iPhone 15 Plus. Now I'm going to get into doing the full camera review, which I do have to modify slightly because I did get the latest software Liquid Glass update, iOS 26. So I may have to shoot some additional B-roll to overlay with my camera review video. And then we'll get into the full review for the iPhone 15 Plus. And hopefully that full review will help you guys and gals decide if this device is still worth picking up here in late to early 2026. Okay? And I just want to let everyone know, when the full review comes out, after that, I will officially be on break, and there will not be any more videos being published to the channel until after my birthday, which is early to mid-September. So once this full review for the iPhone 15 Plus comes out, I'll be officially on break. I'll probably make one more end of the year video, but then after that, you guys and gals won't see any more videos dropping on the channel until after my birthday. Okay? So I just wanted to give everyone that quick update. For those of you who stayed to the actual end of the video, now you know what to expect. But, like I said, have a good one, everyone. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch everyone in the next one. Peace. We are out of here.